Hey everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to be talking about comments in Python. I know we went a little bit over them in previous sections, but I think that they deserve their own video because they're this very useful feature in Python. Let's say we had our example from our dictionaries video, and we wanted to remember what this line did. And in the future, let's say we wanted to just figure out, okay, well, how do I change this? What do I do? And you just don't remember what it is. Now, this is a very small example, but when you get into more advanced projects in Python, you're going to be writing these complex statements, and you're going to have to remember what they do, so you don't have to figure it out every time you look at your code. So let's say this was a complicated example. Well, we could add a comment here. Comments in Python are started with a hash, and anything you write after the hash is not evaluated or ran by Python. Python completely skips over it. It's just for your notes or for someone looking on your code, or just to comment out code. So like, let's say we're not using this line anymore, so we can just comment this out. In most code editors, actually, if you go in a line and then you do // it comments out that line. The other way to do it is obviously just put a hash here instead. Those are the ways that you can use comments. You can use them for anything. Python will skip over them, so you can use them for whatever you want. And so it's a good idea to comment out your code to make sure that you know what it does. So if I did a hash and said updates student dictionary, and then adds grade and last name, because as you can see over here we've got grade, it's adding to it. We don't have a grade here yet, and we have last name. We don't have a last name here yet, so we're updates the student, and then we make sure we say that it adds them because they don't exist. And so that's just an example, right? And so comments can actually also just, help you with pretty much anything. Let's say you had a different file and you just want to say what this file does. This file is the only file in the program, but if you had multiple files, you could say this file holds data for dictionary or something like that. Now, another way to write comments is, if you notice, for every new line, if you're writing a long comment, you'll have to put another hash. It's a little bit tedious. You can, of course, just start typing and doing all your stuff and then just highlight them and then do // But another way to do this is you can actually just type strings into your file. So if you remember in our first video, triple quotes that I showed you about, it's pretty common to use these triple quotes when you are commenting big lines. Now, I don't see this very often because most code editors these days, like I said, just have this hash and nobody actually types these out, or at least not very often. And so what you could do, though, is Python will skip over strings, because if you have a string in your code, or even just a string like this, it will not evaluate it, it will not run it, it'll skip over it. So I can say this is a line, this is another line, and this is the third. And you can see here, if we run this file, we actually get no errors. We haven't printed anything, so that's why you don't see anything here. It still works, right? Print student, for example. And here we get everything, it works, we get no errors. And so that's what comments are. They are not evaluated at all. If anyone ever types a comment with a hash, that means it is a comment. So I hope this video has cleared everything up if you were confused on what the hash did and what comments are.